So later films of Burton, Tim's love of the art form showed up in various sequences in subsequent films that he made later on, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Beetlejuice. This crazed trucker right over here is actually stop motion animation from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's Large Marge right there. And over here in Beetlejuice, of course, that is the sandworms over on Saturn. And as you can see, his sketches and his stop motion, they all kind of share his design aesthetic. He was drawing these sketches that looked pretty much like this. In fact, you could see a lot of where his later works, were inspired from and came from Vincent. Some of the shadows on the wall, the stripes, things of that nature, kind of still keep coming through. In 1993, he produced his first full-length stop-motion feature, The Nightmare Before Christmas. And this was a huge hit. Everybody loved this movie. It was great. It was charming. The success would help prove to Disney and other studios, actually, that not only was stop motion, not only could it be financially successful, but that animated films did not have to feature a bright and an upbeat story and rather darker twists on already popular genres. So it was fairly pioneering. Subsequent stop-motion films include James and the Giant Peach, Corpse Bride in 2005, which he directed, Frankenweenie in 2012, a lot of which we've already seen in the opening montage as well. So Tim is a pretty major force in stop-motion. His love for it continues to propel the industry forward, and we can't thank him enough for that. And then there is Laika Studios. Laika didn't start out as its own animation house, just creating award-winning stop-motion movies. No, they started out as simply another production company that was tasked with creating character models for A Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride. So they were actually the production company that was helping Tim Burton get his visions to the screen. In 2009, they became their own self-contained animation house when they released Coraline and featured Burton as a design consultant for the film. They have since blossomed through Paranorman, the Box Trolls, Kubo and the Two Strings, which just recently earned 96% certified fresh rating from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, whatever that's worth. I don't put a lot of stock in critics and or Rotten Tomatoes. But here's Chris Butler. He was a director. And Chris Butler mentions that he wanted to make sure that the animated movies coming out of Laika had their own personality and were aesthetically separate from the work that they did with and for Tim Burton. He says Burton has a distinctive look, and we saw no point in copying that because he's already doing a very good job of doing that himself. What we wanted to do was take a step away from anything that had been done before and find our own voice. I think that's important to Laika, he says. It was certainly important on Coraline to do something that we hadn't quite seen before. And the difference between Coraline and Paranorman was important to us as well. That's the brand of Laika, he says, is to do something that you haven't seen before. I couldn't just end the stop motion section of our VFX talks without seeing some of Laika's absolutely amazing work. So to finish off stop motion, here's Laika.
Looking back, I guess you could say the odds have never really been tilted in our favor. Conventional wisdom says this wouldn't and shouldn't work.
Awesome!
But here we are. In our 10 years, we've learned that not only are we filmmakers, we're engineers, city planners, electricians, and adventurers. We are a passionate group of artists who believe that the smallest details help tell the bigger story. Looking forward, we continue to evolve.
Whatever your quest, it is now my quest too.
Growing our studio, our art, our craft, our technology, and our ambition.
I can't believe you did this.
A lot has happened in 10 years, but we're really just scratching the surface. As our stories continue to expand, we'll take them to bigger, bolder, and more surprising heights. For a decade, we've been doing what some might call mad, what some might call magic. We call it Laika.
You're just in time for supper, dear.
Can't you be like other kids your age?
Oh, baby.
This is my moment.
Coraline Jones always dreamed of finding a better world. A world more exciting than this. But never did she imagine that she'd discover it in her own home. Parallel place
We've been waiting for you, Coraline.
where parents are always fun
I love your garden. Can't believe you did this.
and everything is so good
What's shaking, baby?
it just can't be real.
Mom?
You're just in time for supper, dear.
You're not my mother. My mother doesn't have...
Buttons? Do you like them? I'm your other mother, silly.
You probably think this world is a dream come true,
My name!
but you're wrong.
You do like it here, don't you, Coraline? You could stay here forever. There's one tiny little thing we need to do. Black is traditional.
She's got this whole world where everything's better, but it's all a trap.
You may come out when you've learned to be a loving daughter.
From Henry Selick, the director of The Nightmare Before Christmas, comes a world of extraordinary imagination. Spooky secrets
Who are you?
You're in terrible danger, girl.
and daring discoveries.
I still have to find my parents to set them free.
This year, when adventure comes knocking,
Choo-choo.
there are some doors that should never be opened.
When I look out my window, many sights to see. And when I look in my window, so many different people to be, that it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch. Where'd I go?
In the town of Cheesebridge, when all good citizens are safe inside, beastly creatures roam the night.
Box trolls! Box trolls are monsters!
At least, that's what everyone's been told. Welcome to the magical world of the Box Trolls, where one lucky boy lives happily with his unusual family. They transform treasures into incredible inventions. Careful never to be seen
Who's there?
by human eyes.
I want every box troll gone.
Let's go! Who are you, boy?
I'm a box troll.
Then let's see you fit in your box.
Please help us.
You need to look like a proper boy. Yes. Yes. No. When you meet someone, you must look them in the eye and shake hands. What are you doing?
Box troll, come out, come out.
No more hiding, right?
I will destroy every last box troll in this town.
Grab hold! Stand up for yourselves. Don't be afraid anymore. This way. Pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Never seen one do that before.
The Box Trolls.
Off with box.